everyone, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. I finally finished the first part of my summer 2012 mini album. That is just a normal scrapbook album. It's not a typical mini album. I started working on this probably like 10 years ago, then forgot all about it, and then rediscovered it some months ago in one of my desk drawers, and so I thought I might as well go finish. So the first couple of pages of this book are old pages that I made a long time ago, long before I had my or well before I had my silhouette. But this is how it looks from the outside. It's quite thick, actually. I haven't measured it in inches, and I forgot the measurements, but kept the back very simple, and then just decorated the front a little bit. I'm using different, usually digital scrapbooking kits for each page, so I won't remember all the kits that I used or all the products that I used, but there are process videos for most of these, the pages in this book, and so there is where I mention which products I used. So again, I started, this is one of the older pages, and I just used digital scrapbooking kits, so my scrapbooking has evolved from that a lot, and you will see that as we go through the book. And so because I started this way back when, I also started to glue the pages together without actually putting it in a binding. And so there were a couple of pages that I couldn't pull apart enough to add it to the binding, so they're kind of loose in here. But these are the first couple of pages. They worked. I was able to put it into this book. But then, for example, this is one that I just simply wasn't able to put it in its binding spot there, but I felt that is okay. And then I think there's maybe these 2 pages, maybe 3 in here that I wasn't able to actually glue into this book. But the rest of it then will work just fine because I hadn't put the backs together yet. So these are mostly digital scrapbooking kits that I used for this album. Most of them come from the Sweet Shop designers. This is one of the newer pages. So this is a very old page, and you can see the difference. I'm not sure if you can actually see, but with the old pages, I did not distress the edges of any of my papers, and you can see that the pages look pretty flat. The flowers are just cutouts and all that. So there's a big difference between the old pages and then when you start seeing the new pages, like this one. I'm not sure if you can actually see it on the video, but there is where the edges are distressed, and it just looks more alive, more vivid, more vibrant. And I think it has to do with the way that the papers pop off the pages a little more. And then I added more stamps in the meantime and all that. This is still an old page, so there was a mixture where I was going back and forth, and then at some point it will start with just all of the new pages. The old pages, I don't have any process videos off. This one is an old page. You can usually see because it is, none of the edges are distressed, and the papers have already yellowed a little, which is fine by me because it gives it a nice little extra kind of look here. And again, this is one of the newer pages. Used some dies, some prints, and for this one, I don't think I actually used a stamp on this page. Some of my word strips made it onto here that I share as freebie on my blog. This is an old page, and I try to sort things chronologically, so that's why I have old and new, because I went ahead back then to just started scrapping some things that I was had fun with, and then but to make it complete, I added pages in between. And I think this is probably the last, this previous one is the last old page. This is all new. These are stamps, dies, some of the dies to cut apart. It's also alpha die. This is one of the journal cards that I share as freebie on my blog, MistyHilltops.com. I made it small. Obviously, they're in 3x4 sizes, an original size, but obviously you can play around with it and use it in all different kinds of ways. again. So from now on, we have all new pages that have been only created recently in the last half year or so. There's a stamped title, some more alpha dies, some dies, just stamps and all that. So there's a mixture of stamps and printed products that came with this digital scrapbooking kit. Again, here's another page with lots of, these must be Spellbinder dies, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember all the products that I use, the different products, but again, when I do the process videos of these, then I usually mention what products I use. Here's another page. I used just a white ink for stamping this word here, and then just fussy cut this, the rest of the title there. Then again, a mixture between stamps and dies. This one doesn't really have a title because I felt this one was doing a good job there as a title. Again, one of my alpha dies. So then these are some stamps that come with a die cut set that coordinates with it. Yeah, so all of these are Sweet Shop designers and products, because I used to be very active with Sweet Shop Designs, used to be on the creative team for some of the digital scrapbooking designers there. And this is, so one of the things that's special about this album is the fact that it can lay flat. And how I achieve it is by not gluing the back part, so that way the pages can open really flat onto the on the desk, and that's I really like this way, because it will kind of bend the back binding quite a lot, and I might have to go over and re-glue some of these parts a little more sturdier so that they can be handled well. But for the most part, it is very nice to be able to open these pages flat the way they are. So that's what I try to achieve. So what I do is I create the individual pages as a spread, and then I glue them back to back, and in between I have a little strip that is for the binding, where I then glue these onto. So here, another page, and some die cut flowers. This is a die cut piece, but then these are just print and cuts that I just actually just fussy cut for the most part with this album. This also is a butterfly that came with this digital scrapbook collection. The butterflies I added with that, but then I had other parts and I think that's, no, not quite yet the last page. So here I added some of my paper flags that I create myself. Then this is a die cut piece, or pieces I should say, and this is my last page. So this is my little mini album of the summer 2012. This is only the first part. It would have gotten too big if I had tried to fit everything into this book. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.